I never thought a simple touch could change everything. It started one quiet night when his fingers brushed mine while passing me a cup of warm tea. Just a light graze on my hand, nothing more. But it sent a soft warmth through me that I hadn't felt in years. My heart skipped, and for a moment, the whole office felt smaller, warmer, like we were the only two people awake in the world. That touch was the beginning. Let me tell you the whole story, from my heart, the way it really happened to me. My name is Aisha. I'm 32, and I run a little shop in the busy market during the day. It's nothing fancy, just clothes and small gifts for families. But I love it. Every morning I open the doors, fold the shirts neatly, and chat with the aunties who come in. But money was tight last year. My mother's medicine, the rent for the shop, and my little brother's school fees kept piling up. I worked from sunrise to sunset, yet the bills still stared at me like angry eyes every night. One evening, my old friend from school called. "There's extra night work at the big office building downtown," she said. "They need someone to help with files and basic cleaning after hours. It pays well, and you can do it 3 nights a week." I needed the money so badly that I said yes without thinking twice. The very next day, I finished at my shop, changed into simple clothes, and took the bus to the tall glass building. My heart was nervous, but hopeful. This extra shift could finally give me some breathing room. I arrived at 8 o'clock. The office was quiet, lights dimmed to a soft yellow glow. Only 5 men were still there, working late on a big project. They were all kind and polite when I introduced myself. There was David, tall with gentle eyes and a soft smile. Tom, the quiet one who always carried extra pens. Alex, with curly hair and a warm laugh. Michael, strong but shy. And Raj, the youngest, full of energy, but respectful. They welcomed me like I belonged there. "We're glad you're here, Aisha," David said, and his voice felt like a friendly hug. The first few hours went by smoothly. I sorted papers, wiped desks, and made fresh tea for everyone. We talked softly while we worked. David told me about his mother who was sick too, just like mine. Tom shared how he missed his family in another city. Alex joked about bad coffee, but then asked about my shop with real interest. Michael listened more than he spoke, but when he did, his words were kind. Raj told funny stories that made us all chuckle. Little by little, the night felt less lonely. Every time someone handed me a file or a cup, our hands would brush, just lightly, and each touch left a tiny spark of warmth on my skin. By midnight, the building was silent except for the low hum of the air conditioner. The men kept working, but I could see tiredness in their shoulders. I felt it too. My back ached from the long day at the shop, and my heart ached for something more than just money. I missed being held. I missed feeling close to someone who cared. Sitting alone at a small desk in the corner, I closed my eyes and let my thoughts drift. The longing grew stronger. My hands moved on their own, resting softly on my arms, then sliding gently across my lap. It was nothing loud or wild, just a quiet way to ease the ache inside me, to feel a little warmth in the cool night. I didn't mean for anyone to see, but when I opened my eyes, all 5 of them were looking at me with soft, understanding eyes. No shock, no judgment, just gentle concern and something deeper, longing that matched my own. David spoke first, his voice low and kind. "Aisha, are you okay? You look like you're carrying the whole world tonight." His hand reached out and rested lightly on my shoulder. The touch was warm, steady, like he was offering to share the weight. I nodded, tears suddenly in my eyes. I just, I needed this job for money, but right now I need to feel close to someone, to feel safe. The words slipped out before I could stop them. The others gathered closer, forming a quiet circle around my chair. Tom's fingers brushed my arm, soft as a whisper. "We understand," he said. "We've all been working late because life feels heavy. But tonight, maybe we don't have to be alone." Alex smiled gently and took my hand in both of his. His palms were warm, and he held me like I was something precious. Michael stepped behind me and rested his hands lightly on my shoulders, his thumbs making small, soothing circles. Raj knelt beside me and touched my knee with the lightest pressure. "We're here," he said. "If you want us close, we want that too. Only if you say yes." My heart was racing, but not from fear, from a sweet, deep longing. I looked at each of them and saw the same need in their eyes, the need to connect, to hold, to be held. Yes, I whispered. I want to feel close to all of you tonight, consenting, gently, like friends who care. From that moment, everything changed into something beautiful and intimate. David pulled me up from the chair and into his arms. We stood chest to chest, his hands resting softly on my waist, mine on his shoulders. He leaned down and pressed a gentle kiss to my forehead, then my cheek. The touch of his lips was warm and slow, full of quiet promise. "You're not alone anymore," he murmured against my skin. I melted into him, feeling the steady beat of his heart against mine. Our hips brushed lightly as we swayed together, not dancing, just holding each other in the dim light. Tom came beside us. His arm slid around my back, connecting us all in a soft chain. He kissed the back of my hand, then my wrist, each touch slow and full of care. "I've wanted to feel this closeness for so long," he said quietly. Our arms linked, and I rested my head on his shoulder while David still held my waist. The three of us stood like that, bodies close, breathing together. No rush, just the sweet tension of longing finally being answered. Alex joined next. He turned my face gently toward him with one finger under my chin, his eyes locked on mine, full of warmth. "You're beautiful when you're honest like this," he whispered. Then he kissed me, soft, slow, on the lips. It was a kiss that spoke of years of quiet loneliness, now melting away. His hand rested on my hip, mine on his arm, and we all leaned in together. Michael stepped in from behind, wrapping his strong arms around all of us in a big, gentle circle. His chest pressed lightly against my back, his breath warm on my neck. "We've got you," he said simply. Raj completed the circle, taking my free hand and kissing each finger one by one. His energy felt playful, yet tender. "This feels right," he smiled. We stayed like that for a long time, 5 men and me, held together in the quiet office. Hands moved softly, fingers tracing arms, palms resting on hips, heads leaning on shoulders. Every touch was full of emotion. David kissed my temple again and whispered about his worries for his mother. I told him about mine, and our foreheads touched in understanding. Tom held me closer while sharing stories of missing his hometown, and I felt his heartbeat slow as the loneliness eased. Alex's kisses on my cheeks grew deeper with feeling, but always gentle, always asking with his eyes if it was okay. Michael's arms around my waist made me feel protected and cherished. He didn't speak much, but the way he held me said everything. Raj laughed softly between kisses on my hands, telling me funny memories, and the laughter mixed with the warmth until we all felt lighter. The night stretched on, but time didn't matter. We moved to the big sofa in the corner of the office, still fully clothed, still just holding and touching. I sat in the middle, surrounded by them. David on my left, his arm around my shoulders, fingers playing lightly with my hair. Tom on my right, his hand resting on my knee, thumbs stroking in slow circles. Alex knelt in front, his head in my lap, my fingers running through his curls. Michael stood behind the sofa, leaning over to kiss the top of my head every few minutes. Raj sat at my feet, his cheek against my leg, arms wrapped around my ankles like he never wanted to let go. We talked for hours, about dreams, fears, the money struggles that brought us all here late at night. I told them how the shop felt like my whole world, but sometimes left me empty inside. They shared their own empty places. Each confession brought us closer. Every time someone spoke, another hand would find mine, or lips would brush a cheek, or arms would tighten in a group hug. The longing that had started with my quiet moment alone now bloomed into something shared and beautiful. I felt wanted, not just for my body, but for my heart. They felt the same. Consent was in every look, every soft, "Is this okay?" and my smiling "yes." At one point, the tension grew sweeter. David pulled me onto his lap, arms around my waist, and we kissed slowly, deeply, while the others watched with soft smiles. Their hands rested on my arms and shoulders, connecting us all. Then Tom took a turn, holding me close, our hips pressed gently together as we swayed standing up. Alex and I shared a long embrace against the wall, his hands on my hips, mine on his chest, hearts beating in rhythm. Michael lifted me lightly, just enough to feel safe in his arms, and carried me back to the sofa, kissing my forehead the whole way. Raj danced with me in small steps, laughing, his hands on my waist, spinning me until we both felt dizzy with happiness. We didn't need words for everything. The touches said it all. Fingers interlaced, arms wrapped tight, cheeks pressed together, soft kisses on necks and hands and lips. The emotional connection grew stronger with every minute. I felt their care wrapping around me like a warm blanket. They felt my trust opening up like a flower. The money that brought me here became the smallest reason to stay. This night was about longing finally met, about 5 kind men and 1 tired woman finding closeness together. Hours passed. The sky outside the windows turned from black to soft gray. We stayed in our circle of arms, bodies close, breaths mixing. No one wanted it to end, but dawn was coming. David kissed me one last time, slow and full of feeling. "Thank you for letting us be close," he said. Tom squeezed my hand. Alex rested his forehead against mine. Michael hugged me from behind, strong and steady. Raj kissed both my cheeks with a grin. "We're here any night you need us," he promised. I left the office as the sun rose, my heart full in a way money could never fill. The extra shift gave me more than cash. It gave me connection, tenderness, and the memory of being held by 5 caring souls. Back at my shop that day, every time I folded a shirt or served a customer, I smiled inside. The touches from the night before still lingered on my skin like gentle echoes, hands on arms, hips brushing, kisses soft as whispers. That was the night I learned that longing doesn't have to stay hidden. Sometimes when you're honest and the people around you are kind, it turns into the most beautiful shared warmth. 5 men, 1 woman, all consenting adults finding emotional closeness in the quiet hours. I carry that memory with me every day now. And sometimes late at night in my shop, I close my eyes and feel those gentle touches all over again. Hands, arms, hips, kisses, and my heart feels full.